What's up, guys? It's Josh, and look who we got here.
What's up, everybody? It's Coach K in the house. We got Cain Perez with us today. How are you, man?
I'm doing good, man. How about yourself?
Doing good, doing good. Josh, how you feeling today, brother?
Dude, I'm great. We got Pillar Talk. We're bringing Pillar Talk back. 149.
I was gonna say
episode of Pillar
149.
Talk if we're combining all of them.
149.
Yep. And Kane's been on, I think, at least twice.
Yeah, I think this is the third time now.
Yeah.
It's cool. Thanks for having me again.
Yeah,
I
no
appreciate
doubt.
you guys.
No doubt.
Okay, so we got a lot to see what's been going on with him since the last time he came
Been a
on
minute.
Pillar Talk. Then
Yep.
I'm gonna go ahead and share this real quick, Josh,
So,
while you pay the bills.
While he's doing that, I'll get to the sponsors real quick. I want to shout out Smoker Society, the Little Brown Jug, Amaya's Fresh Mexican Grill, 8 Mile Vodka, Mint Cannabis, IWR, Lane's Pizza, Kennedy Health and Wellness. Anybody else? Obviously, ourselves, BrainJerk. You got anybody you want to shout out? You got your coaching stuff?
I'll just give some love to All Heart, because All Heart is kind of a big sponsor of our Kicking It with Coach K podcast, which is on Sundays. Make sure you guys tune in at 7 p.m. But they're just a big sponsor to us. They do a lot. Obviously right now I'm getting ready we got some big things we were just planning with BrainJerk and talking about as far as coaching and in the sports world. And All Heart is always a huge part of that. So definitely want to give them some love, and just make sure you guys tune in on Sunday and make sure you guys check that out.
Yep. So, Kane, for the people that haven't seen your episodes, tell us a little bit about who you are and what you do. Like, you can start from the beginning, from 5-year-old Kane if you want,
Okay.
or start wherever you want.
All right. Well, my name's Cain, and I'm an artist. I make music, I rap. I do a lot of comedy-based stuff. Sometimes I do mix the two worlds together, but mostly I'm a music artist. So that's what I do. That's what I'm pursuing. That's what I have going on.
All right. So one thing I want to ask, because so I try to do like at least a little bit of research, right? Like, where did you draw the comedy side of it from, like, to do hip hop, right? Because most people don't go that route. Obviously, they're like, oh, I want to spit bars and fire. And so where does that kind of draw from for you?
So really it came from, because when I started making music, I realized quickly after making a couple songs, it was just like, it was hard to get people to care or like pay attention to you, because the music genres, just music in general, is so oversaturated. Everybody raps, everybody makes music.
That's real.
So I was like, I got to get attention on me to get people to listen to my music. So it was like, if I have to do something funny to get people to watch me and then be like, here's some music too. That was the thought of it when I started doing that.
Though.
And
I dig that.
I wasn't even blending the two, like making funny or satire type music, until I dibbled in a little bit and I got a good reaction. And then I started doing that type of thing, like concept and funny type raps, if you want to call it.
So do you think, just out of curiosity, do you think, like, so I understand, like, that's a great decision, man. Like, I get that thought process. Like, let me do something that's going to work. Did it just kind of, because it seems like you do it so effortlessly. Did it fit your personality? Like, have you always kind of been that dude?
Yeah, I think people who know me know that I like to joke around a lot. My family's like that. We all like to joke and talk shit, and like that's just how we are. So it was effortless. I'm kind of think I'm getting to the point though to where it's like I want to get back to making just real music, because I know how to make regular songs, good music, you know. So I'm like, I want to get that, because I feel like as like when you do that style, like funny type stuff, you can only go so far. Kind of, it limits you a little bit, you know. They're not gonna play you in the club or in the but you could do pretty. You could still do pretty good. You could do good, but it's like I want to get away from it a little bit. So that's kind of where I'm going right now. I'm trying to like rebrand myself a little bit.
So.
And I see, I've been following you for, I don't know, 3 or 4 years now, and you do that, right? You just like in real life, we learn to be new people each day, but all form into you, right? So the Los Hermanos is where I know you from first. That's where I found you, right? Seeing that you have that skill and that you're not just funny, me personally, I know you have more skill in your little finger here than most of the people in either of the towns we live in. Real life, that's real. I think you have what it takes to go to the top. No question, whether you're here or not, you can go ask Ryan. I shoot you up all the time. Like,
yeah, I know you always show love. I appreciate you.
You I feel like are the most talented dude around that hasn't made it. You have in your own way. You have, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
You know what I mean.
Yeah, that's how I feel all the time. I'm like, I'm in such a weird, like, I feel like I know I'm not the only person in my shoes, but it feels like it's like nobody's like, it's weird because I've done a lot more than most people ever get to do, but it's just like I'm still haven't like made that breakthrough yet. You know, it's like right there, and it's a very strange spot to be in, and I don't know. It's just like I don't know what to do about it except for just keep going. You know,
yeah,
that's what you do. You
just keep going,
but you do what you just talked about. You evolve. Like you, to me, like just 5 minutes into the show, 10 minutes. You're a person who evolves, man. Like you already spoken about that. Like I'm trying to not change who I am, but evolve who I am into something better, right? Into something different, into something that can take things to a different level. And it's hard. We just had this talk like right before the show actually, and not to like all specifics, but like we were talking about like you got to be able to just keep pounding the stone, right? And you got to just be able to take wins every step of the way until that, like, man, that breakthrough is not a lottery ticket like a lot of people kind of think it is, right? It's actually like years of like knocking on the door until finally you got it, right? So like I respect the hell out of it, man. How long you been doing this, out of curiosity?
I kind of started making music late. Like I think I was like maybe like 21 or something like that.
Really?
So like
you've done a lot then.
Yeah, so it's been like 8 years. I've been doing it for a minute now. But I wish I would have started a little bit younger.
Right,
like, because most people that start rapping, they start when they're like a teenager. I didn't even start until I was in my 20s. But I've been going for a minute, so it's definitely been a journey. And I agree, it's just like, to me, it's like most of the times when I do stuff, to me, it's like, in a way, it's like I look at it like every time I put something out, my goal is like, needs to blow up, right? This is gonna be the thing that's gonna like shoot me off. And then it doesn't. So it's like a failure in a sense. You know what I'm saying? Like I fail. So it's like I'm just gonna keep failing, and then eventually something will work. And I've had my little wins here and there where it's been like, you know, I got something cool out of it or whatever. But overall, I just be failing over and over and over again, like in that way.
Message, bro.
Like, you know,
what a message.
Like, I just keep going because it's gonna work.
Same, man.
Eventually, you're gonna hit.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah.
What a message.
And let's not just brush under the rug that he's got 3 million views on Spotify for I Hate My Ex. That's just Spotify. We're not talking about YouTube or whatever other things you have, right? What else has that song brought you, like opportunity wise?
So we got that song on the show The Shy, as you guys know. So it came from
on Showtime.
On Showtime. So after it blew up on TikTok and social media and stuff, I had the music director of all those shows, like The Shy, Raising Cain. He does all of them. Maybe Power too. I think it's all within the 50? Same. It's not 50. It's this guy named he's actually, I think, like the music producer of Sony or something like that. So he reached out to me, wanted to put it on there, so we did that.
Dude, that's big time.
Yeah. Now. So that's been cool. But I also put myself in a bad situation with that song too, man. Because after I got that, now this falls onto me, not necessarily anything for the song, but after I got that show placement, I had a lot of people reaching out to me and people wanting to work with me. And I got into a distribution deal with these guys who said they want to do something with me, but they're not handling business correctly. So I'm currently in the middle of that. I just got lawyered up and sending them over the stuff to try to get out of it because they're in breach of contract now. But that's been sucked. They've had my music catalog for like half a year, maybe almost a year now. It sucks.
Sorry. Yeah. I was just gonna say I was gonna make a joke, but you're starting to make it big, bro, because you're starting to have big boy problems.
Right, man. It sucks. And it's my
that
fault.
Stuff only like it's real artists
man.
Deal with.
That actually kind of fed into the question I was gonna ask is because the producer works at Sony, does Sony own that song now,
No, well, I still own the song technically, but those people have it right now. So I'm not. I haven't been collecting. I don't even have. They have my whole catalog for the most part. Like if I put something out new, then yeah, I can. It's mine. But everything else that I put out in the past and that song they have currently, but I still own it. But they're collecting all my royalties right now according to the deal. But they didn't pay me. They're not paying me like they were supposed
everything
to.
and redistribute it yourself.
That's
You know,
crazy.
that's what Taylor Swift did.
She did.
She did that, and now she's making
Sole
all that
owner.
money.
Yeah. That's not a bad idea.
She redistributed it, reposted everything back out as her own recordings. She's made a boss move right there. She cut out the middleman.
Yeah, it's crazy because they don't even pay a lot for streaming.
What a crazy
anyways.
business.
Nowadays, like you get 0.03%, whatever on a cent of per 1,000 stream or whatever. Dude, one stream.
It's gotta be 10 times harder for an artist to make money today than it was in the past. Like what? Isn't it bullshit? Like a little bit to where it's like, I was about to say, like, wait a minute, don't flag me, YouTube or Facebook, but no, but like think about it. Like if you didn't have a streaming option, you had to go buy Cain's CD. You had to. Like, man, if I wanted to listen to and I had to go buy the whole album, right? Like to me, and then you get paid from that. So it's like, to me, if everything went to streaming, right, like it's a hard deal for these guys to make money. It's hard. I mean, it's harder for business owners. Like it's harder for a lot of people now, but it just seems like, wow, man,
it's a more competitive market. But in a way, it's harder, but in a way, it's easier too.
How so?
Because back in the day when everything was physical, you had to upfront put that money. So if I had to buy CDs or whatever the case it is, I had to have my own money to like buy that and buy those things. And yeah, you would make more, but you had to have money to even play. Nowadays, you don't really have to have money to even play. You need a little bit, but everything was more expensive back then, and you had to cover the physical costs of things and then get your back end after you make yourselves. Now it's like, I think I pay $30 a year to DistroKid, and then that's it. And then I get my music distributed on all platforms, you know? And I mean, with social media, it's like anything can go viral and go spread at any moment.
That makes sense.
So it's like, in a way, it's harder, but and at the same time, I have to acknowledge that it's also easier.
That makes sense.
You know, so it's both. It's like a double-edged sword.
Right, I get that for sure, though.
But I try to look at it, glass half full. You know,
right. And I guess at the end of the day, at the end of the day want your whatever it is, service, product, music. You want it to more people, right? So at the end of the day, we're still in a better situation today to be, because you can get your music out to 10 times the amount of people that handing out mixtapes, or
it kind of evens out. I think
that makes sense.
But yeah,
that's man, I never thought about any of that. This side, because I'm not obviously involved in this side of the business, so like just that whole story right there and everything, I'm like, that's welcome to like the big leagues right there. You know what I'm saying? Like that's like, damn, you're going. I joke, but like I'm being serious. Like only people who are worth something go through some stuff like that, man.
It's hard to make. It is hard to make money from music. I don't even know if overall, when I think about everything that I spent, I'm probably breaking even, or I probably barely have made like profit. When I look at all years of how much money that I've made in comparison to what I've spent for whatever, making a track, shooting music videos, promotion, whatever, everywhere that I go, anything you do costs money.
Now, is there money in like shows? Is there still a decent amount of money and stuff like that?
Like if you're a big artist, if you got actual fans that are coming out, then people are paying you if they're booking you and they're paying you to perform.
Makes sense.
But really, unless you're throwing your own events, no. Most of the time, it's just you pay to perform for some stuff. Like you might little babies at performing wherever, they might be like, you can have an opening slot. It's $4,000,
and you pay the money.
You're paying for exposure,
right?
Or if you go do like a show, it'll really just be for exposure, not for money. Sometimes they give you tickets and then you can sell them, and you might make maybe $100 or something like that. But it's not.
So a guy like you is grinding in this way, and you're making money in other ways too. Then this is something like you just full grind.
Yeah,
I respect it, bro. Big time.
So I mean, I would love for to just be from music. That's the goal,
right?
So mostly be from there. But even still, not even the big artists do that. Drake don't do that. Kanye don't do that.
Yeah,
Ross ain't doing that.
They got their hands in
multiple businesses. They got their hands in multiple pots. So it's like,
never thought of that either.
The same thing. So
yeah, don't none of them guys make their money just purely off of music or anything like that. You
Everybody's
guys got a
everything
whole bunch
going
of
on.
business,
Yep.
alcohol, and all types of stuff.
all
So
the way to Joe Rogan. Everybody
Yep.
in between.
everybody, yeah. So it's like the music is like, I love to do it. I do it for free. I'll spend money to do it, you know, and I hope that I can be successful with it and I can
Right.
take it as far as I can. But at the end of the day, it's like, I'm just not going to stop making music. I don't care. I love making music. So,
So
that's
that's
how I
what you
view,
do.
that's how I view it, you
I
know.
respect the hell out of that.
So some of my favorite videos that you've done are like when you ask somebody, "Hey, what should I make a song about today?"
Mm.
Because I grew up watching what's the I forgot the guy's name all of a sudden, but he's on Nick Cannon's show. He's a Korean guy.
Oh, I know Timothy something. Yeah.
Timothy De La
Yeah.
Ghetto.
Yep.
So I kind of grew up in my 20s, early 20s, kind of watching him and his crew
Yeah.
make beats off of the stove and Wax. Have you ever heard
Yeah.
of the guy Wax?
I think so. Yeah.
When you do that type of stuff, it reminds me of that. And it, I know how much talent it takes just to, I see him sit here and make songs, a couple songs a day. And you're putting, it sounds like so much effort, but it feels like watching the video, it feels effortless. You make it look effortless. Is it really that easy?
When I go make a song, a lot of times it just, I don't even know how to explain it. It just comes. Like a lot of times I will take my time. Sometimes I'll start and then like it'll be like I'll stop and then I may pick up the next day or whatever. But sometimes when I just need, once I start with one line, it all just comes
From there.
It's weird. I don't even know how to explain it. It's like you're channeled to something. Okay. It just comes to you. So, but I like taking my time. I overthink a lot of stuff when I make music. So like a lot of times I'll take my time. I'll be like rapping in the car. I'll be rapping in the shower, rapping while I'm taking a shit, rapping while I'm changing my daughter's diaper. Like just coming up, whatever. Like I'll come up with the line. I'll just add onto it. I just keep everything up here. Like I'm not like a freestyler or anything like that to where it just comes like that. But it's like I just memorize everything in my head and then I'll just perform it. Okay. You know. But I also have a home studio, so that makes it easier for me.
You can just
so I could just jump in there and just record it. I could do a couple lines and then stop. Right. You know. So.
But. Tell me what the inspiration was for your Helping Hands videos. Like, why did you decide like you were gonna actually get off your seat and do something to help?
So, I mean, one of the big reasons was because I just know there's a lot of people out there that need help, especially elderly people. They just don't have help like they need, and their families are busier. They just don't. Some people don't have a lot of family in general, right? You know, so that was a big reason. But another reason why I started doing that was because I was trying to figure out how I could monetize on social media more by making long format content, because that's what they all wanted. Like that's what TikTok wants is long format content. Now, music wise, it's kind of hard to post something a minute long every day. It's kind of tough, like to do that consistently a minute long. It doesn't sound long, but a minute of content is long for most, you know, we're ADHD, everybody is nowadays. So I was like, this is something that I would like to do that would be good for people and I could do for free for others. And then I can put it online and you know, monetize from it. And maybe this could be something that I do consistently and I could make money to keep going and keep helping people, kind of like a Mr. B, you know, that's what Mr. Beast does. He's monetizing his stuff and then he takes it and puts it back into that. That's what the idea was when I started.
Great dude.
Yeah. By the way. It's a lot on the editing side. I do all the editing. Like I do all that stuff myself. I learned how to do Photoshop. I learned how to edit. I've learned how to work cameras, all types of stuff, just trying to make music. So it was like, once I figured all that stuff out, I was able to try different styles of content. So it was a lot of work. And right now I'm kind of taking a break from it, like I said, because I got a lot of other stuff going on. But probably when summer or spring picks up and it gets nice out again, I'm gonna start going back to it. But
so just so everybody has some context, what do you do in these videos?
So what I was doing was finding people. I was really posting on like Downriver and Friends. I don't know if you're familiar with the page on Facebook. And I would just say, hey, if anybody needs help with anything, I don't care, whatever it is, if I can do it. You know, I'm not a skilled tradesman. I can't
fix your
toilet or, build you a bathtub or whatever, whatever it is you need. But if it's something like manual labor or whatever, I can do that, or like little easy things like assembling furniture or whatever things that people need to do that they just can't. And people would message me and just say, hey, I need this, or can you come cut my grass? Or I got to get rid of these things. Can you help me? It's too heavy for me. Can you do it for me? And then I would just go do it and document the process basically.
I was going to ask you if you had reached out to people or they were reaching out to you.
They were mostly reaching out to me.
Okay.
So and then sometimes I may see their comment and then I would message them, but people were rating me all the time because a lot of people need help.
Yeah.
Like I said, a lot of elderly people. Like if I made a
You'd
post,
be surprised.
if I made a post on there right now, I would get probably tons of 100 comments of people being like, I need help with this, or my grandma, my aunt, whoever. So
something like that is something that can grow too to other
Yeah.
people, other places. Like something
Yeah.
like that is like something you could start into a whole movement, bro.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like you know what I'm saying? You could push that to us here in Monroe. We push it to somebody here, and all of a sudden you got
Yeah.
you got 8 different cities doing the same damn thing, and everybody's paying it forward.
Yeah.
That's a movement
And
type.
that's
of
part of the reason I had to chill out, because I was doing it all myself.
Mhm.
And it's a lot to do it. Like sometimes I'd have one person with me helping me, but really I was doing it all myself, and I was doing all the camera work, and I was doing all the editing, and I was doing everything. So it's
Free
just
day job
for and for free. So it's like
Yeah, that's
it was
a
a
lot.
lot,
So that'll burn you out.
And a lot of people would reach out and say, hey, oh, I want to be a part of it. Oh, I want to help you. But
when you call
when I actually call them, they didn't
Yeah.
come through. So it was like I kind of had to chill for now, but I want to get back to it. I'm just trying to get other things in order. But it's something that's interesting, and this goes back to talking about how when I was talking about being funny and doing that type of content, I only did that helping hand stuff for like, I don't know, maybe like 2 months, 3 months or whatever. I was going hard doing it, and people started associating that with me so quickly. Like they just started seeing it, like the branding of it. And that's kind of what made me realize a little bit more. It's like, I want to brand myself. How do I want to brand myself? What do I actually want to do? How do I actually want to brand myself? And then let me narrow it down that way, and then just keep being consistent with it and build a fan base. Cause sometimes it feels like, for me, I have a lot of people that follow me, but I don't have a lot of fans. That's how I feel sometimes. Cause sometimes it's hard to get people to interact with the content.
It is.
So, but it's like, you go look, I got 200 whatever 60,000 followers on TikTok, and it'd be like I get 1,000 views. It's like, it irritates me, but
It's weird, isn't it?
yeah.
No, I
But,
get that
yeah.
though.
It's like the YouTube reels.
I get that.
But
One
it's-
YouTuber, you might get thousands of views, and then the exact one right before that or after it has 4 or 5.
Yeah.
Like, wait a minute.
Right.
It's very strange. Like, so I don't even understand it myself. Like, I just had a video on there on Thanksgiving. I posted a video of my nephew, and it has like 6 million views on there. And it's like the next day I post something, it's like 1,000. It's crazy. It's wild. So that's why I'm trying to get better at, is the consistent. The views don't really matter that much, but in a way it does, when that's like part of how I would make income or get people to listen or whatever to get it. So it's not, I don't really care about going viral. I just want something that's like consistent.
Yeah.
Consistency. That's what I want,
Yep.
which I think my problem has been, I like to do so many things, and I'll put like my whole, so I'll do a funny video, then I'll do a serious one, then I'm helping this old lady, then I'm fucking rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would put all that out there, and I feel like it's made it so broad that people are coming from all over, like on social media.
I think it's hard to make it consistent with
Yeah,
that.
like most people that end up doing really good or they're building a brand. It's like they do one thing. I just have a hard time with that.
I think
because I feel so
think you're
like,
not on the wrong track, but
Yeah.
I also think
Yeah.
screw that.
Yeah.
Keep doing you.
Yeah.
But if that's 3 or 4 things at
Yeah.
a time, that's your brand. That's
Yeah.
who you are.
yeah,
If you,
That's how I try
know
to
what
look
you're
at it.
That's
saying,
true.
though. It's
Yeah.
hard to keep up on
Yeah.
all of that. But if you're being authentic,
Yeah.
you're going to keep up on your authenticity, whatever that is.
Yeah. I think that's why me and you get along and like each other so much, though, because like we're both kind of like we're open-minded people, and we like a lot of different things.
Yeah.
And it's like, I don't want to say not a lot of people are like that, but I don't think a lot of people are like that. So it's like hard, like, because I like so many different things when it comes to music, to art, to this, all over the place. Like, I'm just
Right.
open
Dude, I
to
can't even
everything.
pick a favorite color.
Right.
To be,
But,
let
yeah.
alone like my favorite genre
or whatever,
stuff like that.
Yeah.
You ever think about being a comedian? I know you said something about you're
Mm.
trying to move away from that a little bit, but
Yeah.
do you ever think about actually getting on stage and doing
I
some
have thought
stand-up?
about it. I've thought about doing it. The reason why I haven't is because the reason why I haven't taken that step yet is because I'm like, I already am doing so much, and it's like that's a whole nother thing. And then it's a whole nother thing that I have to learn and get better at and go. I've thought about going to some comedy shows more. I've only ever been to maybe like 2 or 3 comedy shows, and just going and just seeing how they do it. Like, because I already know I make music. I have to go on stage all the time and perform in front of people. So it's not like it's not necessarily a whole lot different. In a way, it's like, I mean, it'll suck to go up there and tell something nobody fucking laughs, but you know,
it happens,
it
all right.
happens, but I mean, music too. Like you go up there
Right.
and perform, not everybody likes your music, or you don't get like an applaud, whatever.
Yep.
It's the same.
I think that what
same
sets
thing.
those comedians apart is their quick-wittedness.
Yeah.
I think you're pretty quick-witted.
Yeah.
Right? Their crowd work with the quick. Those
Yeah.
are my favorites.
It's the crowd work.
Yeah,
Those
the crowd
are my
work.
favorites.
Yep.
The Andrew Schultz's dude.
Yeah.
That dude, he don't care what jokes he's making. He
Yeah.
don't care who you are. We're making fun. We're making jokes and
Yeah.
having fun.
Yep.
Right. He's gonna pick on everybody in the crowd. Those are my favorite types of comedians.
Yeah, I like that too. It is something that I've thought about, but I just figured like that's something that I would probably do if I was like, okay, I'm gonna not do music. You know what I mean? I'm gonna chill on the music and I'm gonna pursue comedy, and then maybe I'll get back to dropping music sometimes when I want, whatever. But right now, music is more so my main focus.
Yep.
But I have thought about it though.
So to kind of piggyback off of both of you guys, like what? So I know you kind of touched earlier on kind of changing the tone a little bit. Can you tell us anything you got that you're working on right now?
Yeah, I'm actually sitting on a bunch of songs right now that are just like normal, like just good songs, nothing like concept or comedy.
Right.
So I'm gearing up right now to start posting more and being, and just getting out there and doing music. And I want to get back to doing shows. Like on Friday, I'm doing a show. I'm gonna perform, which I haven't. I think the last time I performed was with you guys.
Shout out
at the comedy
comedy show.
Yeah, or was it? It was either the comedy show or it was the one that was outside.
I think it was the comedy show.
You were at the comedy show for sure, because I know you definitely.
What was the one that was outside with the wrestlers?
Oh, you went to one of them?
Yeah, it was outside. It was like it was like a big party. Like they had like a jumps. It was huge. Yeah, Juneteenth.
Oh yeah.
Oh, Juneteenth.
Yes.
Okay.
That was the last one that I did.
I forgot about that.
I haven't even performed since then. That's June, so we're going in December.
Yeah,
I
that
haven't
was
even performed.
Juneteenth.
So, I want to network with more people and stuff like that. I feel like that's one of my biggest problems is I have no team. I have no help. I've never had help. And then the one time I tried to work with people, like I told you, they like screwed me. They're screwing me over. So it's like,
that's tough.
Right. So, but I see, because Ricardo, he's working with people. He's working with the label and stuff like that. He has a big team behind him, and I've seen the way it's been helpful to him and how it does that. I've never had that. I just always done everything. So be like me and my dad. You know what I'm saying?
Honestly, with your talent, if you had somebody controlling things where you wouldn't have to worry about certain things, obviously. Yeah. And you could just work on your craft and not have to worry about the filming and this and that.
Yeah. And I can't even
I just don't want you to be pushed into a box where they're trying to get you to do stuff that you don't want to do.
Yeah, I would have a hard time with that because it's like then it's just a job.
Yeah.
And that's not what I want.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Because it's like I want to have freedom, that was one of the reasons why I had agreed to work with the people that I did, because they were like, you could just do whatever you want. We're going to give you suggestions and that's the way they, told me. And that's why I agreed to it. Like, we're going to give you suggestions and guidance, but ultimately it's up to you what you want to do. So I'm like, okay, bet. I have creative control and I'll have a team of people that are willing to help me. Then that's what I want. But right now I don't really have anybody around me, nor can I afford to like consistently pay like great people to like, because everything it costs a lot. Man.
That's one thing that everybody sees these people going viral. Like that's rare. As often as it happens, it's still a lottery ticket.
Yeah.
most of these people that are getting to the top, they're paying thousands, tens and hundreds of thousands. Who was it that they actually paid for advertisement? Was it you, Travis Scott? 100 and some thousand he put on buying views, and then it got him famous.
Yeah, he faked it. I seen that it was the guy. He faked his views, and I think that honestly, I mean, I don't have proof of it, but I think the same thing has happened on social media. I think it's a lot of bots. It's a lot of stuff, and it's interesting. It's very interesting to see because it's like, it's so weird how when something goes viral and people, if thing gets a lot of attention, then people just want to interact with it. Or it could be the same video, 10 likes, 1 million likes, but they'll click or share or, you know, comment on the stuff with 1 million, but not the one with 10 in the same exact video. It's very interesting. Like,
I've actually back to back. I've done
it's
that.
weird. It's so interesting.
On TikTok.
Yeah.
And then I've posted the same video, just a little tiniest bit different. And the one video's got thousands of views and interactions, and the other video has nothing.
It's so weird.
Did anything change for you when you went viral? Like, did anything in your life, anything with your career, like anything that you can point to and say, like, hell yeah, that was different after I went viral?
I don't think really, like, not that much. Just more people just know me. You know, they see me. Like, people come up to me and be like, "Oh, I know you. You're the guy who makes these. You know what I mean? You make this video, or you make music."
Which is still kind of a cool thing, right? That's still kind of a cool thing, though, right? Like, shit. I mean, that's got to be.
So, I mean, that's cool. But like, as far as like, besides that, no, not really. Like, it wasn't like life changing. I'm still the same. It's still the same. I do the same shit. I'm
your life
ain't
person
changed, out here. I'm, you know, working. I'm at the gym. I'm doing whatever. I'm at home. You know, I'm just being a normal person. So nothing really changed too much. But I don't know if that's because I didn't fully capitalize like I should have, you know, off of certain instances, which is something that I'm trying to learn and get better with. But you know, because a lot of people, once they started getting in good engagement, they like, oh, shout out to like Cali and stuff like that, like places where it's interesting and other people are there and they all kind of work together.
Right.
And that helped them a lot. I didn't do that, you know, but.
So speaking of, you're still just a normal guy. I know within the last few years you became a dad.
Yeah.
Right? So how has that changed your mindset?
I think, like, I don't know. I kind of feel like being a dad. Like, first of all, I love being a dad. I'm so grateful for my daughter, and like, I'm blessed to have a daughter and be able to have kids and stuff like that. Like, I kind of feel like it's the point in a way. Like of life almost. It's like of life. I really think that it is like to have kids or whatever, because it's like the joy that I have that I can imagine for like my kid when she does something is so much higher than like for myself. And it's like like I love her no matter what. It's like so unconditional. It's like incomparable. There's nobody, there's nothing, and you won't understand it until you have a kid. So I kind of feel like that's like the point. So it's been like a motivation for me to like try to go harder and, you know, get my shit together and figure things out, because I want to be able to do I want my daughter to have a good life and be able to do and not have her worry about whatever. Oh, we can't do this because we don't have money or whatever, you know. So it's definitely been a motivator, and it's also just brought a lot more love into my life, which I think is a good thing. So I'm pro everybody have kids. You need to have a kid.
Oh, I've got 3 of them.
You got 3?
Dude,
I didn't even know that.
My oldest is about to drive.
Bro, I did not even know that you had kids. That's crazy.
16 to 8. I got 3 of them.
How old are you?
One of them's back here in the back window. 30. What am I? 36 now, I think.
He said, "What?"
I quit. Past 30, I quit keeping track.
I didn't even know that you had kids. That's wild. But we've never talked about that.
No,
I don't think
never.
we have. No.
We just talk about music and But yeah, I've got 3 kids.
Well, dang. So you know.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah,
it's
I want to have
to
more.
The point to where now my oldest kid is she's only got a couple more years until she's off on her own.
Yeah, off on her own.
Right. She's a sophomore already.
Yeah.
So I'm hitting the stage and like the opposite stage of where you're at, to where it's like I'm thinking about, man, almost like what I assume you would feel like when you get, you know, that death is close.
Yeah.
You know, like
What? Where in the world is
the
this
sadness,
podcast going?
the sadness.
No, I'm just playing.
You know what I
get
mean?
you.
That sadness you feel of I only got so much time
And then
left.
she's gonna be like,
I get that.
I've only got so many minutes left with her.
Yeah.
Right.
Until because she's got this whole plan. She's gonna go to cosmetology school. She's gonna go move to Florida where my family lives.
And stay with your mom.
She's got a whole plan she's had since she was.
Yeah, she got her own
10.
life.
Yes.
So it's like you're dad still, but you're not like dad.
Yeah.
That's
and
how
I've tried to give her. You'll go through this wave where you're like the princess locked in the tower analogy is funny.
Yeah.
Because that's how you'll be for a little bit.
Yeah.
But then you'll get to a point to where you're like, okay, they need their freedom.
They got to make sure
they need that.
You can't control them.
No.
You got to let them make.
I can't remember who talked to me about this. It might have been on one of our podcasts. Somebody I just spoke to, and I can't remember the exact words he used, but he was explaining how, like, as a father, you have your role is what it is for certain time periods, right? Like at first you're a provider, right? And then it becomes, as they get older and leave, you just become I think he might have said like supporter. Like you just become the guy who is there when she needs somebody to talk to, or your son needs somebody to talk to, or some wisdom, or I hate to say it, but life happens. Maybe they got in a bind, right? Yeah. And their only option, the only person they can trust is to come talk to dad about it. Yeah. So it's just like, and it hit me really hard because I was like, man, my daughter's growing up too. So I'm like, shoot, man. I'm like, you gotta embrace every kind of stage and just know, like, this is the stage I'm at. This is what I have to be.
And being a parent teaches you that your parents didn't have a damn clue.
No, they didn't know shit.
They didn't know a damn thing.
And neither do we.
Love you, Ma. Because I know you probably watch.
And neither do we. We're just trying to not fuck our kids up as much as we feel like we were, right?
Less than they did us.
That's the goal. We all got
not that it's bad, but
we always want better for our kids.
Less than, but I mean, I think that's the point. It's like you learn from your predecessors, and then hopefully my daughter's gonna be better than me. That's why, like, I feel like patience and forgiveness, even for especially for your parents and stuff like that too, because a lot of people have fucked up relationships with their parents, but I always try to look at it like I have two really great parents, but I've also been in situations where it was like I've been in bad instances with my parents where it's like if I would have held on to that, or if we would have held on to that, we wouldn't have we could not have a relationship. And I know people that have that, and it makes me sad. And I'm just like, sometimes you can't, certain people you can't have a relationship to, or you can't be as close to them as you want. But I feel like it's sad when people are like, I don't fuck with, my mom or my dad at all. I don't talk to them. They're, POS.
Well, and that comes from whatever. Well, if they're not good people, that's one thing. But for me, for example, my dad was that the discipline, right? Yeah. My dad, that's our job. Yeah. Having the kids now, I realize that's our job. Yep. But there was moments when you become a teenager and you're like, fuck my dad. Yeah. Fuck that guy. Right. But now he always said, what he always said, Coach? You'll understand when you have kids of your own. One day you'll understand.
Famous words.
And it's couldn't be more right.
It's true. Yeah.
Couldn't be more right, because everything that he ever said about you're only a man of your word, nobody's gonna trust you or want to mess with you if you're gonna lie all the time. Yeah. You gotta just be honorable, and he's the one that taught me all that, which is what our job is. Right? Yep. He wasn't always there, like he had to work. He was working demolition out here for 12, 16 hours a day, but
and that's what we're missing.
That man was
in a lot of
there,
places,
no matter what. My car engine broke. Even still to this day, if I call him right now and say, hey, I need something, I need a place to live or whatever, come on. With your plan to leave. Yeah. You can come, but you can't stay. Yeah. And you got to know that. Yeah. But he and my sister, I've got a sister, and she's 18 years younger than me. So I literally graduated, and then he started all over again. And with me, he was rah rah. Yeah. And with my little sister, he's a little bit less.
Chiller, yeah.
And I kind of had that discussion with my oldest. She's like, well, how come my little brother and sister are allowed to do this or that at that age, and I wasn't? Go skating is actually what she said. Yeah. And I was like, well, the thing is, do you want me to make the same mistakes I made with you with them? Yeah. Is that how it should be?
Right.
And she said no.
Right.
So once again, we're all learning.
You're learning, yeah.
And just because you fucked up with certain things over here doesn't mean you have to continue that over here with these kids too.
Yeah.
Yeah. You admit I fucked up here.
Yeah.
I could have did better, but this is why.
Yeah.
They're allowed. I had to have that whole conversation, right? And those are conversations that the older they get,
They're gonna
the
understand.
better
Mm-hmm.
those conversations get, and that's what I'm excited for.
Yeah.
That's my new excitement.
Yeah, that's what I think about too. Like, I think about my daughter getting older and like having those types of conversations with her and how she'll be. Like, I think about that all the time. So I'm excited for that too. Like, I don't want her to get big, but then I'm like, when she does and like we can talk and stuff like that, I think it'll be good. So when they can understand.
And don't be their friend. You're not their friend.
No.
You can be friendly, but we're not their friend until they're an adults.
Yeah.
Or
I agree.
That's one thing my dad did always teach me.
Yep.
I'm not your friend.
Not your
I
friend.
love you with everything I have, but we are not friends.
Because your friend will tell you what you want to hear, and as a parent, I'm supposed to tell you what you need to hear.
Well, a real person,
I mean, a real friend should tell you what you
when
need.
you're-
But
when
I'm gonna be
you're
honest, when
too.
kids are young, you know how it is, bro. Like you need to hear the honesty from mom and dad.
And a
To
lot
be-
of times you don't want to.
You don't, and you hate it. Like to be real, like I'm fully transparent with kids that I coach or kids in my household. So my
Yeah,
daughter
you
or
deal
my
with teenagers
stepdaughter.
every day.
And I'm like, man, I tell these dudes, like, I'm full transparent with any kid that I coach or my kids. Just like, there's not a conversation that we have that's not completely honest. I don't think it's better for us to have honesty with our kids so that they look back and know that mom and dad was real about shit with them, even when stuff wasn't right. Like, even if it just minimum teaches them accountability.
Yeah.
Like, they need to know, like, my parents taught me to be strong enough to stand up when I was
part
wrong
of that's
or right.
admitting when you're wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
is,
And so, like, and sometimes it's uncomfortable. Like, I ain't gonna lie. Sometimes I'm talking to kids I coach that are 13, 14, 16, 17, and we are having some conversations that I'm like, bro, I don't want to have this conversation with you, but if we don't, you're not gonna learn, and then something's gonna fall here in your life that I don't want to see happen.
Yeah.
So Masshole says he's never had kids, and people always told him that he would have kids and they'd be just like him. So he's like, that sealed the deal. No chance.
That's funny.
Appreciate everybody that's watching too. Night Train, Masshole.
Night Train's on.
Oh yeah.
Shout out to you guys, man. Shout out to all you guys.
Glitter World, Jimmy.
So I got a question that I do want to ask before I forget.
Yeah.
Man, I feel like for business wise, like I'm a creative mind. Football wise, I'm a grind. It's grind. Like I just go to work. I don't overthink it. I just kind of go. Business wise though, I'm very like need to be strategic, draw things from places. Do you do anything, man, to draw? Like, you know how some people they go to the woods, right? They'll go walk through the woods to draw inspiration, or they'll go on a boat trip, or like, do you have any kind of things that you do where you're like, man, I'm gonna go get me some inspiration for what I'm doing?
I think for me, it always just comes randomly. It's very sporadic. It's not like something. I don't have like a ritual or anything.
Okay,
like
so
I
kind of
do,
like you said earlier.
It just comes, and when it comes, I just roll with it. I do enjoy being. I like being alone when I create, though, for sure.
Okay.
So it's like I got to be kind of like secluded. Big. I don't like being around other people or creating, like maybe like one other person if we're both creating.
Okay.
But for the most part, it's like I like to be alone, secluded, like in my room or whatever, or that's why like I literally I'll be in taking a shower and I'll be playing beats off my phone and coming up with songs in the shower and stuff, just being secluded, that type of thing for sure. But
so anything to kind of keep your mind what's the word I'm looking for?
Compartmentalized.
That's it. Yep. Yeah. Just anything to kind of keep you in the zone.
Kind of like that. But nothing specific, and I don't like I'm not a smoker, so I don't smoke to like get, like I don't do, I'm not nothing like that, but I just be thinking. So I think like it's just what I see, what I observe, what I see online. Obviously, I spend a lot of time online, so I get inspired a lot of times by stuff that I see just being on social media. It's like that's a whole little world of itself and stuff like that. So it's like I see a lot of stuff on there, and then I'm like, oh, that's an idea, and then I'll think about it, and then I'll try to talk about it in my perspective of how I see it.
That makes
whatever
sense.
it is. So
I heard Barstool reached out to you. Is this true?
yeah.
What's the deal with this, man?
So that was
I'm a Dave Portnoy
that's the
guy.
video
So.
that I had that I said that I got the 6 million views or
okay.
whatever. So I had a bunch of people reach out to me asking me, do you own this content? Can we repost it on our page? I'm like, sure, we'll tag you. Sure, that's fine. And then I went into my Instagram DMs and I had a DM from Barstools and I had a DM from
That's sweet, bro.
Unilad. I don't know if
I know Unilad. That's
So,
crazy.
Barstools, they were like, hey, do you own this content? I'm like, yeah. They're like, fill out this form or whatever. We'll post your content on there. So I go and I'm looking at it, and I was working at the time, so I kind of skimmed at it, and then I was gonna send the video through, but for some reason I didn't. I didn't submit it, and then I went back and I looked at it, and then I seen their terms and conditions, and then I was looking at all the terms of it, and basically they were asking for exclusive rights to the video.
Yeah, I read
meaning that they
too.
were the only one who could post the video, monetize it. I wouldn't even own it no more.
It specifically said that.
So they just straight up was like, we'll just take this shit.
Yes.
Yeah. So I thought
damn, Dave, you selfish.
I thought about it.
How do you think you got that big?
True.
I thought about it because I was like, well, technically they have 15 million followers on Instagram, right? So it's like a post from them is worth probably a few $1,000s. So it's like I thought about it, and then I'm like, and the exposure. But there's a couple things. Number one, it's not really me in the video; it's my nephew. So it's like it's not necessarily me.
Okay.
I'm talking to him, but it's really the video is my nephew. Is not even. I'm sorry, he's my little cousin. But so my little cousin, and so it's not really me. And then also, I just feel like I could repurpose that video every year because it's about Christmas. That's really what the video is.
Sweet.
I could just repurpose it every year,
right?
And I can get it might go viral on my page like it did. But the issue was it's not minute-long content, so I'm not even monetizing it. So I just try to make a video and explain it to make it over a minute long, and hopefully it'll get a bunch of views and I can monetize it. But it's weird.
But damn, bro, 3 million views and
6 million.
6 million and Barstool.
Just randomness. You were just, hey, I need my video to go whatever minute long, so I'm just gonna sit here and talk about it.
Well, I kind of explained. I don't know if I might have did something like that before, but for this one, when I repurposed the video, I kind of just explained like what I explained to you guys, and then I just made it over to be over a minute long, and then I put the video on it after it. So I'm like, hopefully that'll get some views, and then I can get paid. There's a lot of money sitting on TikTok for me, but I have to get views. Like I have you know what RPMs are on per
cars?
No, for like it's I think they say the same thing for YouTube too. It's like however many views you get per 1,000 views, you get paid. This X amount.
Actually,
per
6 cents.
Per 1,000 views on TikTok, I get paid $1.82. So if I get 1 million views on TikTok, that's $1,800.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
Wait, that's legit?
That's legit. So that's what I would get. My issue is that when I don't know how to get millions of views consistently on a minute long format content. I could post short form content all day, come up with an idea that's 10 seconds long or something like that, and probably make it go viral.
Well, even in like you said, like some of these videos you would think would hit it huge, and then it's got a couple.
Do you research? Do you guys? I mean, you're into this stuff too. Do you guys research this stuff, like the algorithms?
I've tried
how to.
They change the algorithm so often. Yeah. So as soon as you start to get a hang of it,
they move.
They'll change it. Yeah. So it's like I've looked it up. I've watched YouTube videos on it. Try
shadow ban you and stuff like that for certain things.
Right. That's also true.
I have no idea about I don't understand it whatsoever.
And then another thing I learned that is if you're paying money towards, say, a TikTok, you're paying to push that ad, right? Now you're stuck because now you're gonna have to pay money to pull in ads. Right. Because you're pulling in the people that really don't care about you. They just saw something real quick.
Yeah.
The key is to engage somebody and catch their heart.
Yeah.
Right. That's how you catch your real, true,
just so relatable. Something so relatable.
Fans or followers. But those are the people Like we have some here, Glitter World and Mass Hole and Night Train.
Shout
It
out.
doesn't matter what we do.
They're there for
They're
you.
here.
Yeah, I have people like that.
They're here.
Y'all the real
what.
ones.
And those are the real,
Y'all
Josh
the real
Geisbert,
Yeah.
Coach K for also,
Appreciate
is becoming
Ethan.
that.
Real supporters.
Yeah,
real people,
we all become family.
Yeah.
And it's like
Yep.
with these guys online, we spent 2 years with the morning show, and it was just 2 years straight consistency, like you were saying, and that was irreplaceable, right? Found people from all over the world that dig with you, that are part of your tribe that you would have never met without the internet.
Yeah.
Right? Think about how life would be without the internet right now. How crazy things have gotten since, since we were
It's changed a lot.
10 years, in just 10 years.
Yeah.
Now look at the AI.
Yeah.
I'm
bro, scared of that shit.
Even in just a couple years,
scared.
You should be, because
them robots coming.
Will Smith's movie,
I'm telling you, them damn things are coming, bro.
That's like, or Terminators is a true possibility.
Yeah,
that type of stuff.
They're gonna get all types of ass whoopings too when they come.
That's the type of stuff that makes the Matrix real. Is like the Neuralink and the AI, and that's if we're already not.
If we're not already in it, right? Yeah.
If we're already not in the simulation.
Elon Musk giggling right now, like, y'all don't even know.
If you check what is the social media that you use the most? Would you say?
Facebook, honestly. Yeah.
So
honestly,
that has been proven to be used by the FBI, and all that. They've been
as a tool.
They've been quoted into saying that tool's the best tool that's ever been put out, because everybody just puts their own information willingly, right? So think about Neuralink is done by Elon. What else does Elon own? X. So you don't think that this X isn't gathering the same information Facebook is? I feel like he's going to try to integrate. It's going to make integration with this chip that he's got.
Yeah, the only difference
easier, because the AI will be able to see how the human population acts and thinks, and
the only difference is Elon's getting everybody's real shit. Facebook don't get everybody's real shit no more, because Facebook kicks you for anything.
But do
for breathing the wrong way. And Twitter, like Elon kind of just he just reinstated like Alex Jones. He's got like terrorist groups that are on there now. Like
for Alex, but
Alex Jones.
Happy that the censorship, he has completely gotten rid of that, because you shouldn't be censored.
No,
especially somebody like, I don't want to root for him or shout him out, but Alex Jones, who has been right about a lot
of stuff. Yeah,
a lot.
He crazy as shit, but he's been right.
Way more than he's wrong.
He's funny. He cracks me up, man.
He does. They're turning the frogs gay. That's some of my favorite Joe Rogan episodes.
But I mean, the way he delivered it, but it's true though. That's what they were doing.
And you know what? That footage from the Bohemian is wild. That's a whole nother episode. But like,
he was talking about Epstein
it
Island.
was crazy.
Way before.
Bro, we about to get canceled.
But that's why he got canceled off of these social medias.
I agree with you. Like, I don't like the idea of people being censored. I think everybody should just be able to a limit. I mean, there has to be some limit. Do you know what I'm saying? But like
the child porn.
Nothing like that. Nothing like that on there. But obviously, like, just being able to put out your thoughts or whatever,
right,
and then just let people rock. And it's like, I don't care, like, if you're whatever, you're with this group or you're racist or whatever, I don't care. I'd rather you just be out and do it. I don't want to
man, honest to God, at least we know at this point.
At least I know, and you're not hiding it, whatever. That's how you want to live your life. You want to live your life that way, that's on you. I don't care. You know what I'm saying? Is if you come to me and bring me problems, then we'll address them.
Right.
But if you're just doing whatever, I don't care. You're this, your religion, your race, your whatever it is you got going on, do it. I don't give a shit. I got my own shit going on. But that's the problem. I think for a lot of people, they don't have their own shit going on. They don't have their own nothing. They don't even have a sense of of like identity or self. So they're worried about what everybody else is doing. You talk about this. I don't like this. So it's like
they worry about you.
So they worry about
us.
Or if you don't like something, carry on.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about if I don't like something. I just don't pay attention to it.
Move on, man.
When's the last time you talked to a Nazi? They exist.
Right.
I ain't seen one in my
never met one, bro.
I know
right. But I could go on Twitter or Facebook right now and find one and start arguing with them if I wanted to.
Right. But at least you know that dude is that.
Yeah.
Like, at least I know if I ever cross paths with your ass,
I
you're
know,
that.
There's no question.
Right. I know. No, I agree, man. I kind of want to ask him this question, the one we talked about in the office earlier.
Dude,
should we throw it out there?
Minutes.
So I heard this on a podcast, bro, and it was a good debate. But somebody like you is good to ask this: $100 million or 50 retweets from Elon?
You said 100 million?
100 million.
Or 50 retweets from Elon?
Or 50 retweets from Elon.
Of any post you want.
And it doesn't have to be the same post.
Nope.
Right now, I would probably take the $100 million because, I mean, I do have my music that I could try to plug in for that, but it's like I don't have like a full-fledged business. That's
See,
like,
he thought this through.
What if I told you
right into?
He thought this through.
The
You know what I'm
100
saying?
grand's not tax-free though.
So would it be like 50?
Damn, Uncle Sam.
Right.
Maybe 55.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
give you a couple extra there.
I thought he said 100 million. He said
He
100
did.
grand.
No,
Okay.
I thought he said 100 million.
No, 100 mil.
100 mil. I'm taking the 100
100 mil, because this podcast, the guy said that 100 mil would not be worth what 50
Well, that was
retweets.
Pete. That's what you're talking about earlier, right?
Yeah,
Patrick.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because
Patrick Bet.
yeah.
You listen to
I
him?
don't know. Honestly, I'm not even a Twitter guy. So I honestly
So it
don't
really
know
wouldn't
the power
affect.
of how it is. Like I know Elon owns X, and I know obviously he has a lot of influence and power on Twitter, obviously. But it's like I don't know. I mean, $100 million is a lot. For me.
A lot of money.
I'm not in that position. I don't have the connections like Tucker Carlson does to be like, I have these relationships. I don't have those
So
relationships.
basically, what you're doing is you're either going to take the guaranteed 100 million, or you're going to hope
Take a bet
that these 50 retweets get me more than that.
Yeah. Which it could. I'm not going to say that it can't. But just for where I'm at right now, I don't have the relationships. I don't know the people. I don't have an established
get you then.
business.
But that one
It might
retweet
get
from
you
Elon might land you six executives that you never know.
And you know what? That was part of the thought process behind why I thought about giving giving the exclusive rights to Barstools, because I was like, it's not just the amount of eyes or like the crowd of people, it's also who follows them. Because you don't know who follows them. All the celebrities,
everybody follows Barstool.
So it's like they could see that, then somebody might come to my page and then they might be like, oh, I like this guy and I like his content. Let me introduce him to this person. You never know. You know? So I had debated on it, but
I thought that was a hard question for me, man. I was like, man, 100 mil is a lot to do a lot with, but so is 50 retweets from the most famous dude, on Twitter.
It's not about what you know, it's about who you know.
Who you know,
right? That's what makes it hard.
That's a big thing, yeah. Because I see people all the time that it's like, you see people all the time that's like, you are in no way, shape, or form like any better than I am, yet you have all this going for you, and it's because they know somebody or because of or either they capitalize on their moment or whatever the case was. But that's why it's good to just go out there. That's why my main thing that I want to work on right now is networking.
Yes,
because
it's big.
That's where I think I've been struggling, and it's like if I knew more people who could have helped me or gave me opportunities or scratch each other's back, then it may have been good for me.
That might be how you build your team, bro. Because then you find like-minded individuals and you sit in the room with them and they start to go. And then what you really do is like what we've kind of found to a degree too is like, well, hey man, I may be, maybe I can't achieve this, but you guys can. And you guys can't achieve this, but I can get it done for you. So let me help you achieve this. Let's help me achieve this. And let's do our work together.
Speaking of,
let's do it.
Bar Cipher, right?
Yes, sir.
And
when is that? Next Friday, right?
Yep. Next Friday, we're gonna be up here. We're gonna be recording, and word of the mouth is that you're gonna be involved.
Yes, I will be
bringing the heat.
Yeah. Do you know is Primo gonna be? Is she gonna be engineering too, or who?
Primo's gonna be here for what he said, about an hour or two. But he'll be engineering.
You're gonna engineer? Okay.
Flip will be engineering.
Yeah.
Shout out to Ethan.
It's Primo's beat, obviously.
Yeah, I know that. Yeah, because I know he knows how to engineer too, but I didn't know if he was doing it or not.
No,
but that's cool.
And shout out to Primo. Appreciate that. Appreciate the love.
Yeah, shout out to Primo. I fuck with Primo.
I just know him from watching you guys, basically.
Yeah.
So with that being, you got anything you want to talk about? Anything in particular, real quick? You want to talk about, shout out?
Not nothing specifically. I just want to let anybody know who's watching. Like, I'm on all social platforms. Cain Perez, just search me. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, all that. If you guys want to look me up, and I got a lot more music to come. Yes, CAINPEREZ. You can Google it.
Like Cain and
It'll pop
Abel.
up. Yeah.
Not Cain the
So,
wrestler.
but yeah, I appreciate you guys, and thanks for having me on. So this was cool.
Coach, you got anything else?
Oh, just thank you, man. I appreciate you coming on. We're back next week at 7, I believe, right? We're back next Wednesday for Pillar Talk at 7. And again, just don't forget, tune in on Sunday at 7 p.m. for our coaches show.
Yep.
But
and, tomorrow,
no, man, this was a good one.
Next week we'll be with Nathan Allen.
We got Nate
Eat
Allen
My
next week.
Treats.
Shout out to Nate Allen. Eat my treats. So
Cain, appreciate you.
Yeah,
definitely.
As
thanks
always,
for having me, guys.
go kill it.
Yeah,
get out there, get that fucking spot because you got it, dude.
Thank you.
I tell you every time I see you,
I know you do. I appreciate
you. Got it, dude.
Yeah.
So appreciate everybody
you,
that
man.
came out to watch and comment. Tyler Munez, what's up? I see you in here now. We'll see you next week.